G'day all, welcome back, Craig Taylor GPT. Here we're going to today to talk about IP ratings. I hope you get something out of this and understand what it means and what your board is rated to. So anyway, let's get into it. Welcome to my discussion about IP. Now the first number in your IP rating is talking about dirt and gravel and dust and so forth. So IP, the first number, we're going to specifically talk about that first. The IP0, there is no protection. So if it's IP55, for example, that 5, if that is a 0, there is no protection from dirt or dust or rocks or anything else. IP1, let's still talking about the first number here. IP1, basically anything 50 millimeters or smaller can get in there. All right, so that's IP1. IP2 is 12.5 millimeters. So anything 12.5 millimeters or smaller can get into your enclosure, your board or whatever. Now, when I move on to apart from that, the IP3, so we're still talking about that first number, 3, we're talking about anything that's 2.5 millimeters or smaller. So we're getting quite small now. What is it? Less than 1/8 of an inch. So less than 1/8 of an inch, IP3 can still get in. We go to IP4, so we're still talking about the first number again. IP4, we're talking about a 1 millimeter wire, so 1.0 millimeters. That's pretty small, basically like MIG welding wire or something like that, or a pin. That's sort of what we're talking about now. So when it's IP4, a piece of wire or dust and so forth, obviously anything smaller than 1 millimeter can get into there. When we talk about 5, we're talking about limited amount of dirt, no harmful deposits basically. So IP5, there's pretty much no dirt and dust can get in there at all. When you go to IP6, so it's still that primary number 6. So when it's 6, basically it's fully protected. No dust, no dirt, no ingress at all can get into your enclosure. So if something is IP6, that first number, we're talking about dirts only, dirts and solids, nothing can get in there. Zero, nada, finito, nothing at all. Now for the second number, so we got IP6 is our best for our first number, IP0 for our first number is the worst. When we go to water, same thing, IP0 is the worst, IP8, something 8, so it's an IP60, that is the best for dirt and worst for water. IP68 is the best for dirt and the best for water. So when I go to that first number, so IP blah 0, there's no protection at all. When I go to IP blah and then 1, basically vertical droplets. So water can be dropped down, drip, 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 onto your enclosure. IP2 is basically enclosure tilted at 15 degrees. 15 degrees is probably around here somewhere. 15 degrees, limited vertical water down 15 degrees, limited ingress. IP blah number 3 is enclosure tilted at 60 degrees. So we're at 45, about 60 degrees. So enclosure tilted at 60 degrees, again, vertical falling water, blah, 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 limited ingress. So at 3, we still don't have any decent protection against water. So IP4 is water splash from every direction around the enclosure. So up, down, left, right, front, back, all splashing. Not high pressure or anything out, just splashing water. Should be protected, but again. Now, the next one is blank IP blank number 5. So if it's 65, for example, there's dirt, can't get in there to a point, and no water. So because number 5 is hosing jets from all directions. So if you've got water being jetted out all different directions, like for example spray off wheels, your board should be protected. It should have limited ingress in there, so you still may get some, but it should basically be watertight. So if you've got a board that is IP blah 6, so if that second number is a 6, that means high pressure jets of water shouldn't get in there. You should limited ingress with high pressure jets, which is probably as high as you're ever going to see if we're going to see that number. So probably 5 is probably going to be the drop off, but 6 you may get there. IP7 is the board or the capsule or module submerged in water between 15 centimeters and 1 meter. So 150 millimeters, 6 inches, or 1 meter, which is about 3 feet. IP67 is that. IP67 is that deep. IP68, for example, limited ingress, basically submerged in water for a reasonable period of time. So that's a pretty substantial number. I don't think we're ever going to see that in an electric skateboard, but what we will see, and what we already have seen, is a board out there that is actually spruiking the IP65. And we'll get into that very shortly, so hang on to the end until I let you know which one that is. So, one of my favourite boards out there, the Tranzite. I love the Tranzite, amazing board. I'll read this from verbatim, and I'll put it up here so you can read it too. It says, avoid water. The board is not waterproof. The electronics, bearings and other components may be damaged due to water ingress and water damage if not covered and is not covered by warranty. Riding in wet conditions is also very dangerous and may cause injury to yourself or others. Straight from the manual. There it is. There's the details. I'll put them up right next to me when I'm talking because it's not good, right? So, Tranzite, nah. Alright, a bigger name board. One that's out there that's pretty popular amongst the people who have got some coin is the Lacoix. Now the Lacoix says, water, if you get caught in the rain, ride slowly home and you'll be fine. As always, with high-priced electronics, avoid water if you can. So Lacoix, there it is, I'll put it up as well. Lacoix, don't give an IP rating. Alright, is the Bajaboard waterproof? Infrequently asked questions on their website, which, guys, I love Bajaboards. Most elite off-road electric skateboard there is. Alright, but when we're talking IP ratings, the Bajaboard has been made water resistant. It doesn't give you an IP rating, just water resistant. So you can certainly ride on wet surfaces, however, it is not waterproof, so we recommend not riding in deep puddles or heavy rain because don't let water wash, and basically don't let water wash over your board. So there it is, got it in here. I'll whack it up again underneath me or somewhere in here. Bajaboard, no IP rating set, but they do say it is water resistant. It's a step up. All right, my board, my Lycaon TRX 2.0. Now, IP rating, it actually says it on the website, so you can actually see this, look it up. IP55, protects against low pressure jets of water from all directions. Limited ingress are permitted. So, low pressure jets. Now, do you remember what we said earlier? Hang on, I'll get it out. 5 is limited ingress of dust and dirt and protected against jets of water. Limited ingress permitted. So, can I ride that in the rain? Against jets of water. 55. I would say you could, as long as you get home and get the board dry, you can get away with some stuff. Is it waterproof? Limited, really limited. But again, it says that 5 hosing jets from all directions. So 55, limited ingress of dust permitted, no harmful deposit. So you won't get much dust and dirt in there, and you'll be okay. Now, move on to the next one is one that everyone's talking about right now, the Exway Atlas. Again, the Exway Atlas has the same protection as my Lycaon. That's right, my Lycaon TRX 2.0 has the same protection IP rating as the Exway Atlas. Downloaded from their site, there it is, IP55. So, as I said with the Lycaon, no dirt, low jets of water. That's pretty much 55. 55 is it. But there is one board that's spruiking a little higher. Now, it's not in the waters category, but it's in the dust ingressed dirt category. So it's on that primary number. So, drum roll please. The Black Carve 2 from Onsra. Onsra say that their board is IP65. IP65. Now, do you remember what that means? Go back to my cheat sheet. IP65 means totally protected against the ingress of dust. So you will not get dust or dirt into this board at all. 65. Hosing jets from all directions. So it has the same water protection for the Black Carve 2 from Onsra, the direct drive, the direct drive that is. IP65, so the water protection 5 is the same as the Lycaon and the Exway Atlas. But Dirt and Ingress, it pretty much says that you can't get any dirt or dust into the unit at all. That's it. Now, on a follow-up from that, just as a thing, this is my video, my quick interpretation of the numbers. Look up, learn for yourself, do a bit more investigation. You can go to places like B&R Enclosures or any of the big companies that do anything from military through to commercial grade cabinets or anything else. They'll talk about all the IP ratings, and you can download and have a look at them. What I suggest is, if you're going to be riding in harsh environments where there's a lot of water, a lot of dirt, if you're going to go off-road, have a look to see if there's an IP rating on your board. It may make the decision easier for you, it may make it harder for you, but do your homework, because not all boards are made equally when it comes to IP ratings. That's just my tidbit. Anyway, I hope you got something out of today's video. GPT, Craig Taylor, out.